Want 3 rows of seating without the footprint of a school bus? I'm Tom Voelk for the Seattle International Auto Show, and this is the 2024 Kia Sorento X-Pro, which gives you just a little bit extra off-road prowess. The 2024 mid-cycle refresh gave all Sorentos a more rugged look across the board, plus added the X-Pro. It gets the same cosmetic treatment as the X line, but going Pro means BF Goodrich all-terrain tires with taller sidewalls on 17-inch wheels. A beefed-up cooling system helps raise towing capability to 4,500 pounds, and logos that tell the world you bought the most expensive Sorento. The dorsal fin remains. Kia is not the only automaker to give its unibody crossovers the rough and ready treatment. Toyota has the RAV4 TRD Pro, Subaru the Outback Wilderness. But Sorento has a secret weapon that those two don't get, a third row. You can't get a rugged Highlander or Ascent, at least not yet. X-Pro only comes loaded. The only real options are floor mats and a $295 olive brown interior upgrade. In Road Rider brown paint, my tester retails for $49,400 with delivery. The fact that Sorento wedges extra seating into a package that's 2 inches shorter than Outback says something about Kia's engineering and the roominess of the third row. I'm shooting this with a pretty wide-angle lens. I'm 5'9", and I've got enough headroom. My knees are up by my chin. That's because the seats are down low. Of course, this is a 3-row SUV crossover. Knee and legroom are fine if the mid-row is set about halfway back. I can throw my foot down the middle. There are belts for 2 back here, at least Kia's being realistic. There's a spot for drinks and snacks, USB ports, and if you need to get out, there are the seat releases for the mid-row. All in all, back here, it's fine for 2 small to medium-sized kids. At Mudfest 2024, put on by the Northwest Automotive Press Association, Sorento X-Pro had no problems whatsoever navigating the off-road course. It tackled moguls and made short work of the sloppy stuff. If it can waltz through this kind of terrain, chances are it will get families where they need to be, even on rough Forest Service roads. Jeep Wrangler Rubicon is not needed. X-Line and X-Pro look quite similar. Both get 8.2 inches of ground clearance and a locking center differential. The roof rack looks beefy enough to fill in as an emergency bridge. X-Pro does not add any protection below to shield the mechanicals. Its off-road advantage is the tires. Sorento's many trim levels can be had with a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, hybrid, and plug-in hybrid powertrains. X-Pro moves exclusively with a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4, pumping out 281 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. Cog swaps are made with an 8-speed wet dual-clutch transmission. Choose where manual shifting happens. It makes sense that X-Pro gets standard torque vectoring all-wheel drive. Between the locking center diff and drive modes, Sorento should get the brood over hill and dale. The grocery store will be a cinch. The powertrain has some oomph. Be careful not to make the kids car sick. 0 to 60 happens in just under 7 seconds. This engine delivers its power low in the rev range, so it really pulls off the line, and it's really smooth. It gives this rig a polished feel, and it's not jacked up to the point where it feels tippy and hard cornering. It handles well for a family crossover. Steering weight is about perfect. Comfortable? It sure is. It's one thing you'll really notice on your test drive right away. And I'm sure the suspension has something to do with it, but also the X-Pro has tires that have taller sidewalls. It really soaks up the sharp bumps that are on this street. And this is a nice neighborhood. They pay a lot of taxes. This pavement should be better. It's also a fairly quiet crossover. I kept listening for hum and drone off the all-terrain tires at highway speeds, but heard little to none. X-Pro has that raised seating position that everybody seems to want these days, and it's really easy to see out of. Visibility is excellent. Another thing, it's not ginormous. It's easy to drive this, especially in tight urban areas. And it's got 3 rows. I like the blind spot camera system that's activated by the turn signals. It caught a motorcyclist I would have missed without it. X-Pro is stuffed with high-end ADAS tech like adaptive cruise control with automatic lane change and logic that learns your driving style. Considering the power, the fuel efficiency isn't half bad. The EPA rates the average at 23 miles per gallon, and it takes regular grade fuel, so that'll save you some money. Now, there are Sorentos that are more efficient, but the X-Pro is not available with the hybrid or plug-in hybrid powertrains. I did the math, and the hybrid system saves some $3,700 over 5 years compared to X-Pro's Turbo 4. Kia stopped being the cheap and cheerful brand years ago, switching to a bang-for-the-buck value approach at just under 50 grand. This is not inexpensive, but it buys a lot of kit. A big glass roof, leather seats that should cradle just about anyone, plus they're heated and vented. One of the better Bose systems I've heard too. It's a rich look with lots of stitching and quality materials. A couple passengers thought this was real open-pore wood. Prang the Sorento up, and that's on you. The camera system has your back. And front. And side. The newest digital key technology lets you ditch the fob, text access to people you trust, plus no need to pull the phone from your pocket anymore. The driver's cluster can be switched up. Storage cubbies? There are loads of them all over the cabin. Kia's updated connected car navigation cockpit system gets a faster processor and supports over-the-air updates. It's snappy and well laid out with good flow. No need to plug phones in, there's a Qi charger, and wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are standard on all Sorentos now, even with built-in navigation. Depending on the trim, Sorento can seat up to 7, X-Pro stops at 6. It's easy to get comfortable, lots of adjustments, and bun warmers in row 2. These would be great for earbud cases. X-Pro is stuffed with the kind of features that were optional on luxury vehicles not that long ago. Few 3-row SUVs have much room with all the seats used. Sorento has 6.3 cubic feet. There's a spare tire under this little cubby, good to know. I see families using Sorento as a 4 or 5-seater with row 3 reserved for those just-in-case moments, and the load floor ends up pretty flat. In case you're wondering, those buttons don't raise the seat backs. Max cargo room is a solid 75.5 cubic feet. Now, with the second row usable, there's 21 to 29 cubic feet to fill. It just depends on where the sliding seats are positioned. Competitors are Mitsubishi Outlander and Volkswagen Tiguan, plus cousin Hyundai Santa Fe. All of these are more compact crossovers with a third row of seating. Check out the Sorento line, including hybrids and plug-in hybrids, at your Kia showroom. For the Seattle International Auto Show, I'm Tom Voelk.